All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of the CG Sitdown with hosts Lane Hebert,
Clay Weedle,
and Andrew Preeb.
Today we're joined by special guest
Christian Darrah.
How are you doing today, Christian?
Doing pretty good. It's been a good day so far. How about yourself?
Hasn't been too bad.
There you go.
All right, so we're here to talk about you and your cross-country career. So one of the first questions I'm going to ask is, what are your biggest accomplishments as a cross-country runner?
I'd have to say throughout my career, going to state last year as a sophomore and finishing 12th at the 2A state, Wamego, I'd have to say it's probably my biggest accomplishment.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Now, is that 12th overall or just?
Yeah, it was 12th overall in the state, so I was 12th in 2A.
Describe the course you ran.
It was... anyone that's ran Wamego knows it's a tough course. It's a lot of hills and a lot of long hills, and they get gradually bigger.
Yeah.
But that also comes with a lot of downhills, so you can catch up your speed there. So
Trimmel was pretty proud about that course, wasn't he?
All right, so I know that a lot of people, when they think about cross country, they just think, okay, it's a 5K, you just go and run. But there's a lot more to it. So I was just wondering what your specific strategies are to run in a race.
So. Basically you want to base your strategy off of the course you're running. So it really depends, if you have more hills, you want to conserve your energy for those hills and push downhill. You want to really drive your knees up those hills, so you want to keep your energy. Flat course, you're obviously just going to want to go as fast as you can the whole time, stride out.
Yeah.
But I typically like to start off a little bit fast, stay in the front pack, and that just really pushes me to not let anybody behind me catch me. So that's my strategy.
Okay. So running a race, do you prefer when it's hot outside or when it's cold outside?
I like it a little bit colder, but not freezing like we have been lately. But the heat, it really gets to you when you're running the 5K. Really, you get overheated. It's just
I believe it.
Kills your energy. So I like it colder usually. I usually run better in the cold, but thing with the cold, you gotta stay warm so your legs don't get tightened and you pull something.
Okay, I got you. So what's your PR?
My PR is 17:34.
Where'd you run that at?
I ran that state last year at Wamego.
Oh, okay, that's pretty dang good race.
And I saved it.
Yeah.
I ran it again this year at Harrington. Same time.
Same time?
Yeah.
That's good for you were talking about how hard the course was too. You're doing that fast.
Yeah, I really just had a lot of adrenaline shooting at me. It was my first year at state, and there was a bunch of people there I knew, so they're all cheering me on.
Yeah, you're all hyped up for that.
Yeah. So speaking of state, so this year you qualified again. So congratulations on that. It's really impressive.
Thank you.
You said you're running in Victoria, right?
Yeah, they had to switch up the courses since of the whole coronavirus, so they have a bunch of different locations this year.
Okay.
So were the state supposed to be there originally, but they just changed it?
No, usually they have 1, 2, and 4A at Wamego, and then 3, 5, and 6A it's at Rimrock and Lawrence.
I see. So they just have it at a couple different spots then?
Yeah, they switched up.
So since this is a new course for you, have you done any scouting, you and Coach, on the course, or are you coming into it blind, not knowing what it's about?
Yeah, we found a website. They run a lot of college meets there, so they have actually have really cool drone footage of it, so you can kind of see it. It looks decently flat. I heard there's little hills in it, so I'm really pumped for this course. It could be a potential PR. So
that'd be good.
When you're running though, do you prefer flat or do you prefer something with a little more challenge?
If you're looking for your time, you're gonna want flat, so you can just nothing's gonna slow you down. You want to stay going, but sometimes hills really push you a lot more, and it can maybe help in the race with trying to push yourself, knowing that you could just slow down because of those hills. The hills can be a good thing sometimes.
Now, those hills, if one were to say to be muddy, would you take some extra caution and make sure you don't slip and fall?
Yeah, you don't want to hurt your ankle or anything. They actually make running spikes, and they have spikes on the bottom, so you can get a little bit more traction.
Are you allowed to wear those?
Yeah, I personally wear them. I know a bunch of people wear them. A lot of people wear them. They're really good. But some people don't like them because on the heel there's not much padding. You can hurt your shins or something, but I think it's a risk well taken. I like them.
For someone who's not running very long, because you can run such a good time, it's probably better for you to wear spikes.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about your shins as much because you're not on the course for as long as, say, a slower runner.
Yeah, and plus most of the time you're running on grass, so it kind of cushions a little bit, so you don't have to worry too much.
Yeah. See, I never really thought about it, how off-road, all the different terrains you have to go through in each race. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, So you said you run on grass a lot. Is there any terrain that you've ran on before that just sucks, like you just hate running on it?
Oh, I've ran in gravel, ran snow before, just all types, cross country. You're going to run in everything about.
Yeah.
Running sand. It's just, sand is terrible.
Which course has sand? I remember last year running one of them.
We ran at Burton, and we run that 2 weeks in a row. And when you run back in the trees, there's piles of sand you got to run through. I mean, back there is pretty much all sand. It slows you down. You really got to push through the trees.
So how do they find the courses? Like where, like?
A lot of them are in pastures or golf courses. There's a lot. Just anywhere you can just mow a course through, pretty much. You can make it into anything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was talking to O'Connor the other day. He said he had went to the meet, and he said it was actually way more involved than he originally thought. It was pretty cool. He said had to keep up with you guys and go from spot to spot.
Yeah. A lot of people think it's just watching people run, but some of it does get intense. You can see parents and stuff sprinting to get those spots pictures. It's actually pretty funny. But he went to the state meet, so that's the most intense one you could go to. So he definitely saw the involvement in cross country.
Yeah, he said like the last part of the race is when you really see everybody go all out. That's the craziest part. He said.
Yeah, now Wamigo, that last 100-meter stretch is just, it's straight, and you got people on both sides just screaming their heart out at you. You really push.
How much adrenaline goes through you when you have hundreds of people screaming at you while you're trying to finish a state race?
It is actually amazing, like what it can do. I mean, at Wamigo, I was not tired for most of that race. Just the adrenaline pumping through me. I mean, I felt great. I felt awesome.
Do you have any rivalries, like from different schools that you're like looking out for this state meet?
Well, at regionals, I do have a guy from Wichita Classical, so I'll be looking for him, trying to pace with him, and I got some other people from meets earlier in the season that I'm looking forward to racing again.
How do you think you'll do this year in state?
I'm looking for a top 5 finish, so right now, off of regional times, I should be ranked around 7th or 8th, so hopefully I can get the push I need and finish top 5.
That'd be great improvement over last year. I mean, 12th is great, but that would still be an amazing leap from sophomore to junior year.
And it's different competition since we dropped down to 1A, so I won't be racing the 2A people I was used to last year.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
I know, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a kid from Remington in 2A. Wasn't he always beating Morgan? And that was like his guy.
He had an amazing summer, you could say. I mean, he cut off a minute for the past 2 years. Now he's running 15s and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he really had a good summer of training.
And then the Central Christian, are they 1 or 2A?
They're 1A. They got Colin Oswalt.
Yeah.
Guy's a stud. He runs 15s too. I mean, he really gets after it.
So I'm going to ask both you and Morgan this question, but since you're here with us first, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite thing that you love most about the sport of cross country?
Some people, when they run, they think about how they're going to die and how it just is a hard activity, I guess. But when I run, I kind of find it peaceful, depending where you run. I mean, you can run in any scenery, like you can run anywhere.
Yeah. And
also, it is a challenge when you run far. So, I mean, I like a challenge, and I think it's just a great sport. You meet a lot of great people, and most cross-country runners are pretty nice people, too. So, I mean, it's a really fun sport.
Do you see yourself doing this after high school at all, or?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully find a college that wants me, and I really hope I can get a scholarship or just walk on to somewhere.
All right,
that'd be great. Yeah. It's very possible. I bet you could do it.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's pretty cool. So, all right. Did you want to promote anything, any social medias or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, you can have my Snap. It's Darrah.C23, DARRAH.C23. And then my Instagram is Christian.Darrah.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Hope to have you again sometime.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll see you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As you can see, we switched up guests, and now we're joined by a guest,
Morgan Becker.
How are you doing today, Morgan?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah.
So, today we're going to continue the talk about cross country. We're just joined by Christian, and we interviewed him last week before state, and now we're interviewing you after, just to talk about how it went.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, how'd you guys place?
I got 9th and Christian got 15th.
Now, is that overall placement or?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of 1A runners, we
Yeah,
got 9th and 15th.
How many people competed in that?
I think there is 92.
Nice. And I can't remember, where did Christian was saying where it was. Where
It
is
was
that?
Victoria. It's like
Victoria.
15 minutes from Hayes.
Oh, all right.
Quite a ways out there then.
So we're going to ask you some of the same questions just to see what the differences are and see how it goes. But what are your strategies when it comes to running a race?
I just try to stay with the front because if you let people get too far ahead, then you're not gonna be able to catch them at the end. So you just gotta try and stay at the front, find your own pace. You just make sure you don't go out too fast because
Yeah.
you're gonna be dead for the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just find your own pace, what you can do, and then give it all you got at the finish.
So you try to stay pretty consistent from the beginning almost till the end?
Yeah, you really don't want to slow down too much, but I mean you're going to because it's just how it is.
Yeah.
But
So how's the terrain at Victoria?
it was alright. The little hilly, steep hills, but other than that, it was pretty flat. Other than the few hills that they had.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you guys had a send-off. Was that pretty good? Like, how many people were there?
Yeah, there's probably like 20 or 30 people there.
All right.
That's pretty
Football
good.
players,
It's not too
cheerleaders,
bad.
and
Yeah, I was going to try to come to that, but I forgot.
yeah,
I thought it was later in the day. But
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it on that one.
it's all right.
What would you say is like your biggest accomplishment so far as a cross country runner?
I say just making the state every year that I've been running. So, yeah, and then placing twice would have been better if I placed 3 times, but
Yeah.
you know it is what it is.
So, did you place last year then?
yeah, I got 8th last year.
8th last year. So
Yeah, and then we switched to 1A this year.
1A this year.
Mhm.
All right. And so was the competition different since we switched to 1A?
Yeah, it wasn't as competitive, but there were a lot fast runners still.
Yeah. What was the best time there?
It's a 15:56.
That's pretty good.
2A was 16:09. So
Okay. And what'd you end up placing at state?
9th.
What was your time?
I ran a 17:12.
17:12.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I think Christian ran 17:43 or something like that.
So he wasn't too far behind.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, what do you love most about the sport?
I like the challenge. I like to just go out and run. I mean, you really it's just you, and if you have a teammate, but you can just think about things, and while you're running, you just try and not think about the pain, but it's really just, takes your mind off things. That's,
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of what Christian was saying too. He said it's kind of like a therapeutic almost, the way
Yeah.
you just go out there and forget about everything and
yeah.
have one goal and you just keep running.
Seems
Yeah.
like a lot of it is all mentality. It's all
Yeah.
about your mentality about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of mental
Yeah.
and physical, but yeah, you just gotta overcome the mental barrier.
Yeah. So, are you doing any other sports this year?
Yeah, I'm just gonna run track.
Doing
and
track.
I'll run through the winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, what do you do for track? Like, mostly running, but what do you do in those running events?
I'll run them 1600 and 3200 meter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Any hurdles?
Nah,
Ah.
that's not for me.
Not his thing, man.
Yeah.
So, going into state, did you have any predictions on what you'd place?
I thought I was gonna get top 7 because they had a website
Oh,
and I
yeah.
had like the 6th, 7th best time.
Mm-hmm.
But then a few kids stepped it up a little bit. But
Yeah.
I figured I was hoping I'd get top 10.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
I mean, that's pretty dang good still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
We asked Christian this same question also, but do you prefer running in the heat or the cold?
It really depends if it's like really hot.
Yeah.
Because if you train in the heat, you'll run better.
Mm-hmm.
So in the cold, everything just kind of goes numb. You really don't feel anything. So I guess it'd be better then, but it's harder to breathe. So it's really just, it could go either way.
Did you ever train in a meat freezer?
No, I have not tried that yet.
It's a good tip. Like, Rocky did, and look what he did.
I mean,
Just gotta start looping in between those cow.
He wasn't much of a cross country runner though.
You
I
got
think.
you gotta be really in shape to box. I
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any tips for people wanting to start cross country?
You just gotta run. You just gotta build a base, run a few miles or a few minutes a day. And you just have to keep doing it. You can't just stop, because then if you take a day off, then you might take few more days off, and it could just keep going. So you just want to build a base and be consistent.
Got to keep practicing, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't want to snowball.
Mr. Silsby's your coach, right?
Yeah.
And how are his practices? Are they pretty tough?
Well, usually we go 80% easy. So those days are pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then 20% will be speed work, anything from time miles to just sprinting, jogging, and then walking. So most of the time it's not too bad unless it's really hot outside or anything like that.
Yeah. So do you do other workouts than run while you're there?
Sometimes we'll do some ab work, push-ups, planks. We'll do sit-ups, anything like that. And then sometimes we'll work on mobility with squats and everything like that.
I see.
Now, do you guys like take a bus like out in the country?
Yeah, we
Take
take a bus, and we usually just go 4 or 5 miles out there,
Yeah.
and then we run on a certain road, and then we get back in the bus after we stretch and come back to the school.
Yeah. Andrew, who's not here right now, he couldn't make it today. He was telling us a story one time about how he got picked up from a cross-country practice by a complete stranger.
Oh yeah,
That was probably about the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't with him, but I remember that.
Yeah.
Did Silsby ever find out, or?
I don't think so.
Guess he will now.
Yeah.
How is it running with Andrew? Is he pretty fun to have on the team?
He is pretty fun. He's kind of like the. Without him, it's pretty quiet, and he gives a lot of energy. So
I believe it. That's kind of what Christian was saying.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, but
yeah.
that's funny to see that.
I mean, the more people I have, the better it'll be.
Yeah.
But
Him and the old Italian stallion.
Yeah. So
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was with Sophia. How many people usually go out? How many were on it this year, I guess?
this year we had 4, 3 high school, 1 junior high. Usually we have at least 10 combined, but this year not really anyone went out. So
Yeah. So what's your PR?
17 flat.
17 flat. So that is pretty dang good. Have you gotten close to it at any other races?
I got a 17:04 this year. I ran that last year, and I trained this summer trying to get a 16 something, but I don't know, I just couldn't quite get there.
That's pretty dang tough. Where'd you get that at? What course was that on?
That was at Berean.
Berean. How's that? Is that a pretty flat course, or is it?
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed it up this year, and we ran that like a week after I hurt my knee, so I wasn't in. But
Yeah, I see.
Now, I was told like before this you weren't going all the way because you didn't want to injure yourself again. Is that true?
for which meet?
I believe like the meet right before state.
Oh, for regionals? It really doesn't hurt anymore. I just started taking the leave because I was just taking ibuprofen before, and it's swelling in my knee, so it went down.
Was it just from running?
I hit it, and I guess it activated like something that was already in it and started swelling up. So
All right. Well, Morgan, is there anything that you would like to promote? Your Twitter handle or anything like that? Instagram?
I mean, my Instagram is morgan.becker.10.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We look
We'll
forward
tag
to
you. Yeah.
we look forward to seeing more out of you in the future, and hopefully break your record and
Yeah.
keep doing good things. So
right,
it's a
thank
pleasure having you on the podcast. But
Yeah.
I'd like to have you on another time. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you later.